Hello, today we are going to learn about direct speech and indirect or reported speech. Now let's look at what is direct speech and indirect speech. Direct speech repeats the words spoken, whereas indirect speech reports the words which are spoken. Now, direct speech talks about the exact words. That is, it repeats. Indirect speech just reports. So when I say direct speech, you need to know few things. One thing that you need to know is it has a reporting verb. So what is a reporting verb? Said or said to in the given sentence. I call it as a reporting verb. And how else can you identify whether the given sentence is direct? It is usually placed inside the quotation marks. Well, now you need to convert a sentence from direct to indirect. How will you do it? There are few changes that you need to make. First change is a change in tense. Next is the pronoun change. Third, verb has to be changed. And fourth, the near adverbial has to be changed to a distant adverbial. Next, know the rules. Know the general rules. For any sentence, when you convert from direct to indirect, you need to remove the comma and the quotation marks. Rule number 2, you need to change the reporting verb. So how do we do it? You need to change it according to the kind of the sentence that is given there in the question. So what are the different kinds of sentences that will be present? 1. Assertive sentence. 2. Interrogative sentence. 3. Imperative. And 4. Exclamatory sentence. Now, when the reporting verb is said or said to, in the assertive sentence, in the direct speech, if it is given said, in the indirect speech, it will be written as same said. But if said to is given, then it is changed to told. Says remains the same as says, and says to converts to tell. In the interrogative sentence, the reporting verbs said or said to will change to asked, inquired, demanded, etc. But in general, we use asked. When you take an imperative sentence, said or said to changes to requested, ordered, warned, commanded, implored, suggested, forbade, threatened, etc. And an exclamatory sentence, said or said to changes to exclaimed, prayed, wished, applauded, confessed. These changes we do based on the context of the sentence. So when you use these words asked, inquired, demanded, an interrogative sentence becomes an assertive sentence. Likewise, an imperative sentence, when you use these reporting verbs, becomes an assertive sentence. Same way here. Rule number 3, use of conjunction. In an interrogative sentence, if or whether is used. Otherwise, if a WH word is present in the given sentence, then that WH word functions as a conjunction. When you take an imperative sentence, you use to or not to. So you might ask, when do I use not to? Not to is used when there is a negative sentence. In an exclamatory sentence, you use that. Rule number 4, change in pronoun. Any sentence will definitely have one of these pronouns. So, in direct speech, if you have I, you change it to he or she. In indirect speech, we changes to they, you to he, she or they, my to his or her. Our changes to their. Your changes to his, her, or their. At the same time, if me is given, then you change it to him or her. If us is given, then you change it to them. If you is given, change it to him, her, or them, depending on the gender. If mine is given, change it to his or hers. Ours is changed to theirs. Yours will have to be changed to his, hers, or theirs. Rule number 5. Change in the tense. In the direct speech, if it is in the simple present, you change it to simple past. Likewise, present continuous tense is changed to past continuous, present perfect to past perfect, simple past to past perfect. If past perfect is given in the direct speech, you do not make any changes. It remains the same. Past continuous is changed to past perfect continuous. If past perfect continuous is given in direct, you do not make any change. It remains the same. Likewise, if would, should, might, or ought to is given, there is no change made. But if shall, will, can, or may is given, then you change it to would, could, or might. If must is given in the direct speech, you change it to had to, or it remains as must. Rule number 6. Near adverbial is changed to a distant adverbial. In the direct speech, if you have this, that is changed to that. These becomes those, here, there, now, then, thus, so, hence, thence. Ago becomes before. Come is written as go. Bring becomes take. Today, that day. Yesterday could be written as the previous day or the day before. Tomorrow, the next day, or the following day. Hope you understand. So let's consider this example. Joe said, I am happy now. Said is the reporting verb. Comma, open quotes, close quotes. Pronoun I, verb am, near adverbial now are the changes that we need to make. So, comma, open quotes, close quotes has to be removed and substituted with that. This is the conjunction which we will be using. I will change to he. Am, simple present will become was. Now, near adverbial will change to then. So, what is the answer? Joe said that he was happy then. So, this is written in indirect speech. Rule number 1 for converting from direct to indirect. Now, let's assume you are given a sentence with this template where you have words written before the comma, and then you have an open quotes, close quotes, followed by a verb, and that followed by a subject, and ended with a question mark and close quotes. So when this is the case, how do we convert? Comma, open quotes, close quotes, question mark, verb and subject, said to, near adverbial. These are the changes which we need to make while converting from direct to indirect. So, said to will be written as asked. Comma, open quotes, close quotes, question mark. You substitute with whether. Are you will become he was. Now will become then. So, what is the answer? Stephen asked his brother whether he was very hungry then. So this is the change. Are you verb followed by a subject will be written as subject followed by the verb when you write it in indirect speech. Rule number 2. When the template of the given sentence is like this, comma, open quotes, close quotes, WH word followed by the verb and subject ends with a question mark and close quotes, then what should you do? First, you should know what I mean by WH word. The W words are what, why, when, where, which, whose, and whom. And the H word is how. Fine. Now let's look at this example. Andrew said to his father, comma, open quotes, when shall we go to Goa? Question mark. Now this sentence follows the exact template given above. You have few words before the comma, open quotes. The WH word when is given, followed by a verb shall, subject we, and then it ends with a question mark and close quotes. So, what next? WH word when. What are the changes? Said to, comma, open quotes, question mark, close quotes. Shall has to be changed and we also has to be changed when you need to convert it to indirect speech. So said to becomes asked, shall becomes would, and we becomes they. Answer is Andrew asked his father. The WH word has to be written the same. When. Would is a verb, but when you write the answer here, it has to be written as subject followed by the verb. So it has to be when they would go to Goa. So verb and subject has to be written as subject and verb. Rule number 3. Imperative sentences. For imperative sentences, you need to use the words ordered, advised, commanded, etc. The template goes like this. Verb followed by few other words where the verb has to be changed to to plus verb. Let's assume this example. The master said to the servant, shut the door. Said to has to be changed, comma, open quotes and close quotes has to be changed. So the answer will be said to is changed to commanded, comma, open quotes, close quotes. You remove and substitute with the conjunction to. So answer could be the master commanded the servant to shut the door. Rule number 4. Request. Let's assume you are given a sentence with this template where you have please followed by a verb and few other words and then that ends with a quotation mark. Let's assume this example. He said to his friend, please give me some books today. So what are the changes that you need to make? Said to, comma, open quotes, close quotes, me today. So what will said to become when it is a request? You say requested. Comma, open quotes, close quotes you need to remove and substitute with the conjunction to. Me will become him and today will become that day. So now what will the answer be? He requested his friend to give him some books that day. So this is the final sentence in indirect speech. Next is rule number 5. Let's consider the template of a sentence which is given to you in direct as subject followed by a verb which is in past tense. Let's take this example. He said, I wrote a letter to my sister. So what are the things that we need to change? Comma, open quotes, close quotes, pronoun I followed by the verb and then my. These are the changes when we need to convert from direct to indirect. Now in indirect speech, the template of the sentence will look like this. That followed by the subject, verb, but the verb will be had plus past participle. So, to make it more clear, let's write the answer. He said that he had written a letter to his sister. To look more closely, what are the changes that I have made here? He said, comma open quotes I've removed and I've substituted with that. I wrote is written as he had written, and my has been changed to his. So, according to rule number 5, when there is a subject and a verb which is in simple past tense, then you will be writing it as that followed by the subject plus had and the past participle form of the verb. Rule number 6. When an exclamatory sentence is given and you need to change it to an assertive sentence, you remove the interjections and introduce words like grief, sorrow, happiness, etc. Now let's assume they give you a sentence like this, which is in direct speech. He said, alas, I am undone. Now when you convert it to indirect speech, all that you need to do is remove the comma, open quotes, close quotes, remove the interjection mark, remove the word said, the reporting verb said, and substitute with he exclaimed sadly that he was broke. Now we've looked into the 6 rules. Now let's look into when you're not supposed to change the verb. So when the reporting verb is in present tense or future tense, and if that is placed inside the quotation marks, then do not change the verb. Example, she says, I will go. This is direct speech. So will go is written inside the quotation mark and it is in future tense. So you're not supposed to change it. So the answer will be she says that she will go. That will go alone remains the same. Now, if the words within the quotation marks talks of a universal truth or a habitual action, don't change the verb. For example, they give you a sentence. They said we cannot live without water. This is a universal truth. Now, this sentence given to you is direct speech. When you rewrite that in indirect speech, your answer will be they said that we cannot live without water. All that I've done here is removed the comma, open quotes, close quotes, and substituted with the word that. And the remaining is the same. Now, if would, could, might, should, or to is used within the quotation marks, the modal verbs, if they are used within the quotation marks, once again, do not change the modal verb. For example, I'll give you a sentence like this. He said, I should face the challenge. Now, comma, open quotes, you need to remove and that you will substitute with the conjunction that. I will have to be changed to he. Should remains the same. So your answer in indirect speech will be he said that he should face the challenge. Hope you've understood. Thank you. Well, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.